We have the real-world AI. We're the most advanced in real-world AI. So the same AI that drives the car, which you can think of the car really as a robot on wheels, and this is a robot on legs. It's kind of weird seeing the arms and legs just separate. We have a whole lab full of arms and legs. Worth bearing in mind that when we did AI Day, this version of Optimus didn't walk at all. So the rate of improvement here, I think, is quite significant. It's obviously not doing parkour, but it is walking around, and we have multiple copies, I suppose, of Optimus. The thing that I think Tesla brings to the table that others don't have is that we have so as we solve real-world AI, and I don't think there's anyone even close to Tesla on solving real-world AI. That same computer and software goes into Optimus. So it's not that helpful to have a humanoid robot if you have to program every individual action. It needs to be able to walk around autonomously and solve tasks. You should be able to instruct it in simple things by showing visually what the robot needs to do, or just telling it what to do. So I think that's a key advantage that we have. And then we also are good at designing things for manufacturing and then manufacturing itself. So the actuators in Optimus are all custom designed Tesla actuators. Because there's a vast number of electric motors, gearboxes and whatnot, that are available in the world. And we found none of them were useful in a humanoid robot, literally none. So you have to custom design the actuators for a humanoid robot. And so the same team that designed the groundbreaking electric motors that are in the Model S Plaid designed the actuators in the robot. So, I mean, for practical purposes, what this means is that we should be able to bring an actual product to market at scale that is useful far faster than anyone else. And assuming that the things I'm saying are true, or at least you can put it, I think they are true. It's just a question of the timing. You start getting into interesting questions of what's the ratio of humans to humanoid robots? I think it might be greater than 1-to-1. Because you could sort of see a home use for robots, certainly industrial uses for robots, humanoid robots. I think we might exceed a 1-to-1 ratio of humanoid robots to humans. It's not even clear what an economy means at that point. Since an economy is output per person times persons, but if output is much higher and there's no limit on persons, then what's the actual limit on the economy? We're still pretty far from Kardashev scales here, but we're getting there.
The key is going to come down to who wins is around appealing product and around the software or the user interface. It's around cost leadership, and it's around consistent execution. And Tesla right now is one generation ahead of the other automakers.
I believe what's going to happen is going to be dramatic, and that is, I think Tesla is going to trigger a global price war, deadly for some of the competition. And what people don't quite understand yet about Tesla is that Tesla's already making cars in 1/3 the time of Volkswagen. That's 10 hours versus 30 hours. This enables them to make over $15,000 in profit per car. That's twice what Volkswagen makes. 3 times what Toyota makes, 5 times what Ford makes. So Tesla's the only company with room to drop prices.
If you look at a year to date, that stock is up by about 87%. So there was a lot of expectation and a lot of buildup in the shares heading into it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Becky. I mean, when you do an investor day, you usually go out, you talk about the company's strategy, you announce either new products or services and you show them, and then you lay out very concrete financial targets, whether it's revenue growth, margins, profitability. And clearly in this event, they only did the first thing. That being said, they did lay out a lot of enablers and gave a lot of content on the manufacturing and engineering efficiencies that they're putting in place to reduce costs, which is key to Tesla continuing to grow and deliver, more affordable products off the next generation platform that they talked about.
Right. I think another key point was that Musk introduced a lot of the other top executives at Tesla, and that's certainly because of the questions that have been asked about his ability. He's been spread so thin by all the other companies he's running, and especially how much time that Twitter seems to have taken up from him at this point. I guess this, to me, even though it may not be what a normal company might be doing at an investor day, it seemed like more normal than the usual Tesla investor day, I think. He didn't make these grand proclamations. He didn't promise things that there's no way you're going to be able to deliver.
You're exactly right, Becky. This was more a traditional kind of investor day. To your point, they trotted out a number of executives that they hadn't shown in any previous presentations, to really take away at least some of the concern that they have about Musk and, the fact that he's, distracted maybe by some of the other business ventures. So they showed, or they tried to show, obviously, the strength of the bench. But they talked about meat and potato kind of things in the auto industry around, how they're driving costs down to improve their margins, what they're doing in terms of supporting the infrastructure for charging, and talking about, in very vague terms, new products that are coming down the pike. So you're right. Compared to previous presentations, it was dialed down about a level of 5 to 10.
Okay, and what has to happen next? I mean, everybody keeps talking about all the competition that's out there, but it's hard for anybody to kind of catch up with the gains that Tesla already has, the first mover advantage and a lot of the research that they've done.